Hey everybody, this is Matt from Beyond Macros, the nutrition coaching company that helps you get leaner, stronger, and perform better through sustainable habit changes rather than restrictive dieting. And today I'm going to teach you about how to count your macros. In the last video, I taught you in detail about how to calculate your macros, and today is all about learning how to put that into practice. So we'll jump into the presentation. Now that we have our daily macronutrient needs calculated, it's time to learn how to count macros. And there's a few reasons why you would count your macros. First, because protein and carbohydrate each have 4 calories per gram, and fat has 9 calories per gram, if you count these 3 macros, you're also controlling the calories you consume. And based off of your goal, if you want to lose mass, you have to eat a deficit, so you have less calories than you burn. If you want to gain mass, you need to have a surplus. Or if you just want to perform well and stay at the same mass, but maybe recompose your body, then you're going to eat as many calories as you burn. Counting macros has the added benefit over calorie counting of ensuring that you're building or preserving your muscle mass by eating an adequate amount of protein. So the protein numbers that we calculated for you were designed to make sure that you are building or maintaining muscle whether or not your goal is to lose fat. It's also going to ensure that you're eating the right amount of energy via carbohydrates to perform at your best based off of whatever your exercise is without storing fat. And also, by making sure we control the right amount of fat going in, we're going to ensure that you have the proper steroid hormone balance and make sure that you have a healthy, functioning nervous system. The other reason that we would count macros is because it's super easy and it doesn't prohibitively restrict your food choices like an ad libitum diet like paleo or vegan might. So you can still eat the foods that you like and not have to change everything all at once. You're just changing one factor, which is the quantity of food that you eat. The first step in counting your macros is to establish your daily macronutrient goal, which if you haven't watched the last video, you should go visit now. But if you just want to watch this video, you're essentially going to choose your ratio here. When we calculate for one-on-one clients, we usually don't use ratios. We do some more advanced calculations. But if this is your first time calculating and counting macros, this is a really good starting point. There's no reason to overcomplicate it. So if you have weight loss, you're going to do 35, 25 to 30 carb, 35 to 40 fat, and so on. The next step is to add up all the macros in your food. So if you were doing this with pen and paper, you would use a database like calorieking.com to figure out what the macros are in each of the foods you eat, and based off the quantity that you eat, how much of the macros were in the food that you ate. The easiest way to do this is to download an app like MyFitnessPal, which is the preferred app of Beyond Macros. It's a food journaling app that is used by millions of people worldwide, so it has a very extensive database. And all you're going to do in order to add up the macros in your food with MyFitnessPal is just put exactly what you eat and how much of it you eat in the app, and it does all the counting for you. So it's not only going to keep track of your calories, but it'll also let you know how much protein, carb, and fat are in the foods that you're eating. And once you've started counting your macros, to actually start making some changes, what you need to do is actually review your food journal and plan ahead. So what I usually recommend that people do is after a week of just putting a normal day of eating each day into MyFitnessPal, you go back and you're going to identify the foods that put you over your targets. So if you see that you eat a lot of rice and that puts you over your carbohydrate target, you're going to be able to identify, okay, I eat too much carbs, rice has a lot of carbs, I eat twice as much carbohydrate as I should, so maybe I'll eat half as much rice. And then you've actually got a habit and you can make a plan to actually reduce that rice. Maybe you substitute it out for cauliflower rice, which you'll learn has lower carbohydrate. So you can actually go through this auditing process, and then that's going to inform you what habits you need to change, and you're also going to start to learn what foods are putting you over your targets. So that's the easiest way to count macros is with MyFitnessPal. We also have a great video about how to make MyFitnessPal easier to use, because at first it can be a little bit intimidating and time consuming, but with a few simple tricks, you can make it really easy for yourself to count your macros. In the next video, we'll go into why macro counting fails.